Happy good morning to everyone. And today's topic is very beautiful, I would say, because many a times we feel, stuck in what we are doing. And we sometimes hesitate to have new beginnings. So let me tell you, every sunrise is proof that you can begin again. So just keep that in mind. And let's begin with the quick question. And I want you to really think about this one. When was the last time you wanted to start something over? A habit, a relationship, a dream, a chapter of your life, but you stopped yourself. Not because you couldn't, but because a voice inside you whispered, "Ab kya fayda? Itni der ho gayi. Too late, too old, too far gone." Or maybe the voice was a little more polished. It said, "Log kya sochenge? I already told everyone this was working. So what will they think if I change direction now?" That voice, that quiet, convincing, utterly lying voice is what we are here to talk about today. Because today we are talking about the most underrated act of courage there is, starting again. So we have been taught by our schools, our aunties, honestly by the entire wedding season conversation circuit that starting over means you failed, that changing your mind is weakness, that pivoting is quitting with a fancier word. Let me offer you a different frame entirely. What if starting again is not the evidence of failure, but the evidence of wisdom? Think about it. The person who stays in something broken, a wrong career, a toxic habit, a path that stopped feeling like theirs because they're afraid to restart, that's not strength. That's just stubbornness in a good outfit. The real courage, saying this isn't working and I love myself enough to try something different. So, restarting is not going back to zero, it's going back to clarity. So let me tell you about Kavita. She was 38 when she walked away from a 15-year career in finance. 15 years, a long period. And that's not a job, that's practically a personality. She had the designation, the salary, the respectful nod at family function when someone asked, "Beta, kya karte ho?" Yeah, a very popular line in the family functions. But every Sunday evening, she felt a dread so familiar it had become furniture. She called it the Sunday sadness. Every week, like clockwork. Her family thought she was having a midlife crisis. Her manager thought she needed a vacation. And her husband, bless him, suggested a spa day. But Kavita knew she had known for 3 years. She just hadn't been brave enough to act on it. She became a textile artist, started from scratch, took workshops, made zero money for the first 18 months, got laughed at quietly, politely, in the way people in India laugh at your dreams without making eye contact. And today, her work is sold in 3 cities and she hasn't had a Sunday sadness in 2 years. So, reinvention isn't a crisis, it's a calling. And the ones brave enough to answer it, they don't just change their careers, they change their energy, and that changes everything around them. Let me tell you about Nalini. She had been trying to lose weight since 2018. So I'm sure some of you also would be trying to do that, losing weight. I love it. She would done it all. The GM diet, the 5 a.m. walks that lasted 9 days, the gym membership she paid for till 2020, the WhatsApp group called Fit Squad, and that is now mostly forwarding good morning messages and recipes for fried snacks. Even near my society, there's a gym, and I've seen people going to the gym and coming out, they have chole bhatures. थक गए बहुत, चलो एक एक प्लेट हो जाए. So that is how we are. So every time she failed, she felt guilty. And every time she felt guilty, she rewarded herself with the exact thing she was trying to avoid. Sounds familiar? No judgment. This is practically a national sport. So the turning point wasn't a new diet, it was a conversation. Her daughter said to her one morning, Mummy, you talk about starting again every Monday. Why not just start again right now at 3 p.m. on a Thursday? Out of the mouth of the children. Honestly, Nalini laughed. And then she did something radical. She let go of the guilt about all previous attempts. She stopped treating her past restarts as evidence of weakness and started treating them as practice rounds. She didn't restart on Monday. She restarted at 3 p.m. on a Friday. And that restart, it stuck. Because this time, it wasn't born from guilt, it was born from grace. You don't need a Monday. You don't need a January 1st. You need this moment. So even Vikram was the kind of man who had his life planned out at 22. MBA, corporate job, car by 30, house by 35, everything on schedule. Everything ticked. At 40, he had everything on the list. And he was deeply, quietly, inexplicably bored. Not depressed. He was careful to tell himself that. Just bored, like a phone with full battery and nothing interesting to open. So he didn't tell anyone because men with successful lives aren't supposed to be bored. And that's an ungrateful thing to feel. And he knew it. The knowledge made the boredom worse. One evening, almost by accident, he signed up for a pottery class. His wife had been pestering him to do something creative, and he went to prove a point that he was not creative. He was right, he was terrible. He made a pot that looked like a medical diagram, but he went back again. Somewhere between the clay and the wheel and a Tuesday evening with no phone allowed, Vikram remembered something he hadn't felt since college, the joy of being a complete beginner. He didn't start again dramatically. He just added one small, new, imperfect thing to a perfectly planned life. And that small thing reminded him that he was still alive inside. So every single day, life hands you a quiet invitation to begin something. Most days we RSVP with too busy. Today, we are going to RSVP differently. So, I want to give you something simple and powerful to do right now, not tomorrow, not Monday, right now. Take out your sheets, the pen. Step one, in your mind or on paper, if you have it, and I'm sure you have it because I've already asked you to bring it, identify one area of your life where you have been waiting to start again. Yes, it could be a creative pursuit you abandoned, a health goal you keep postponing, or coming to Ghaziabad from Prayagraj to meet me, a relationship you have been meaning to repair, a dream you have been calling unrealistic because it's easier than calling it scary. Just think about it. Note it down. And then step two, ask yourself, what is the smallest possible first step I can take today? I would say book the tickets. But yes, not the full plan, not the 5 year roadmap, just one step. Small enough that there's no excuse not to do it. Many times we even forget to smile. So I would say take that one step, smile. It's very easy. Small enough that there's no excuse not to do it, right? Send the message, open the notebook, lace up the shoes, download the application, make the call if you really want to talk to somebody. One small step today is infinitely more powerful than a perfect plan tomorrow. Yes. Step three, commit to taking that step before tonight. I can understand for most of us, we have the full day to think about, and Malika ji has just 2 hours before committing. But I know she's an action taker. She will still do it before going to sleep. That's it. No vision board required, no accountability partner needed, just you, one step, and the quiet, radical act of choosing yourself again. Every single morning without fail, the sun rises. It does not ask permission. It does not apologize for yesterday's clouds. It does not say, Log kya sochenge? It just rises. That sunrise is not just beautiful, it's a message delivered fresh every day, completely free of charge. You can begin again. You're allowed. In fact, you are invited to start all over again. Somewhere along the way, we got the idea that our lives are essays, that crossing something out means we failed. But what if your life is not an essay? What if it's a sketchbook? In a sketchbook, crossing out isn't failure, it's a process, it's exploration, it's the mark of someone who is still creating, still trying, still alive to the possibility of something better. You're not too old, are you? I'm sure not. You're not too late. You're not too far gone. You're simply, beautifully someone who has more pages left. So here is your call to action. Not a big one, the most honest, human, doable one I can give you. Take your one step today. Not because the timing is perfect, not because you are ready, but because you are worth the beginning. So, with that thought, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you.